So today I have a really interesting Duos game to share with you guys, and I've done a commentary on the tactics, movement and zone rotations, so you guys can hopefully implement some of them into your gameplay to help you get more wins. And with that said about zone rotations, I end up in a really sticky situation in the end circle, and I had to think right outside the box in order for me to gain the best position to be able to win this game. So stay tuned for that, as it is a really interesting finish. I was using two different loadouts in this game. The first was probably what is classed as the meta loadout at the minute, which is the FFAR and Car 98 combo. Absolute beast. But unfortunately, after being sent to the Gulag early game, I had to resort to one of my emergency classes with the M4A1. Now the M4 is still a really good weapon, and it has been my fallback for games like these for a few seasons now. I'll show you the setup I have for it at the end of this video if you want to give it a go yourself. But for now, let's get into the action, and hopefully you guys can pick up some tips and tricks to help you win more games of Warzone. So we decided to drop at bridge, and I've managed to get a Grazer straight off the rip, which isn't a bad weapon at all. Obviously just trying to loot to get that first loadout as quick as possible. I've always liked the bridge. There's usually plenty enough cash around to be able to get a loadout pretty quick, and 9 times out of 10 there's usually at least one buy station on either side of the bridge. Sometimes you do have to fight for that buy station as another team generally lands here, but I think we got pretty lucky this game. So I've managed to pick up the AK-47U. Still a weapon that I'm unsure of. I've kind of almost ranked it up, but I'm still not 100% sure whether it is viable in Warzone at the minute. I mean, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. But at the moment, I'm not really feeling the AK-47U. So we've just managed to loot and get enough cash now to get a loadout, and that should be priority every single game. Loot as quick as possible and get a loadout. As of course, most of the ground loot weapons aren't as good. Once you got your loadout, you're always going to have overpowered weapons, so that should be your #1 priority as soon as you drop into a game of Warzone. So managed to get the loadout drop in pretty quick. Bought a UAV as well, and if you've always got enough cash, it's always useful to pop a UAV straight away just to see what's around. But I didn't have time to do that as there's a chopper coming in. Looks as though he wanted to use this buy station, but hit him a few times, managed to fend him off a little bit. Obviously I've gone with the Car 98 and the FFAR. Absolute beasts at the moment, those two weapons are paired together. The FFAR's got insane damage, and the Car 98 is a quick scoping king. You can pull off really good flick shots. So we picked up here on the UAV that there is a team over at neighbourhood, so again, best practice is to mark it on the map as we've done there, ping where they are. I think there's another team on the big blue building next to it as well, so again, that's just information we need to remember for when we push this team. Again, you should be live pinging for your teammate so you can get that all-important information for a few seconds as to where that enemy's gone. It'll give you a good idea. The heartbeat sensor is so overpowered in the early game as well, because not many people have Ghosts, so when you're playing particularly solos or duos, I think it's always better to have a heartbeat sensor over maybe stun grenades. So I can hear this team at the minute smashing windows, so I know they're on the move. Look at that, crouch walking. Managed to get the down pretty quick. I don't think he had a clue I was there, as you can hear from the death comms. So Jack just tells me where the other guy is. He spotted him.
Oh yeah, I can see him.
Decided to put the pressure on a little bit, throw a couple of grenades. There we are, easy team wipe. I think the grenade maybe put a little bit of pressure on him and he wanted to get out. Jack just mentions he's taken some sniper rounds from the team opposite. And of course he knew that there was a team over there, so we know roughly where they are. And then all of a sudden, a couple of vehicles coming in. I don't think they're the same team. I think they actually are chasing each other. So suddenly the focus has gone to this team here, so we decide to push it as they probably are weak. A little bit of a beamer he was. I'm in a really bad position here because I've got no plates left. There's multiple teams around us. Going to be a tough fight to win if either of these three teams pushes. I'm being pinged at by that sniper from the big blue building. Not ideal. I mean, in this scenario I'd want to play a little bit more aggressive, but because I've got no plates and these guys probably have loadouts, it's probably not a wise move to be pushing any of these teams at the minute. So we decide to make a break for it over to the buy that we just got our loadout from to go and buy some plates, and therefore we can hopefully get back into the action and have full health and armour ready to take more fights on. You've always got to be wary when you go into a buy station, however, because it's obviously a hot spot for people wanting to push. So you never really want to stay at a buy station for too long. And lo and behold, there we are. As soon as we're buying plates, we're taking incoming fire. So no idea where this team is, although I can probably guess it was from Stadium or the neighbourhood that we've just been in. Just having a quick peek to see where those incoming fire rounds came from.
Yes.
And now they are pushing us, so we get a team on a heartbeat flag up. So again, I'm live pinging that or pinging that up on orange so Jack knows exactly where they are. So I managed to get a quick down on that guy. He didn't have any plates on, however I managed to land a headshot on that dude there that just popped up. Still don't know where the other guys are. I think they are on the roof at this point. But then that guy must have self-revived. And he's just stripped all my plates off, but managed to get again another down and a finish on him, so that was the team wipe. But I know for a fact that there still is one other team, so I'm in a bad position here. I've only got the wall for cover. Managed to get the cracked armour. I know I'm going to get pushed here because I've just had my armour cracked. And there we are. Unfortunately, he's killed me. Self-revive. But it's not enough because I'm only one shot. And then straight to the gulag. So listened out for footsteps, got the easy gulag win, and we're straight back in. Unfortunately Jack didn't win his gulag, so I'm on my own. I know at this stage of the game it's still early doors, but a lot of people will have the loadout and ghost, so I dropped straight on the loadout, hoping that no one's there because I only see one box available, so whoever's been there before has moved on potentially. And I get my M4 loadout. It's not necessarily the best at everything, but it's still really competitive at close, medium and even long range. Again, I'll show you guys the setup for that at the end, but I think for a backup class, so I can get ghost straight away, it is really good and does a good job, certainly in the medium range. But I'm now thinking that I've not got the best close range weapon because the M4 is going to get melted by a MAC-10 or an FFAR up close. So in the back of my head at the moment, I'm thinking that I will have to keep all these gunfights that I'm potentially going to have at medium range, as the M4 is still really accurate and probably more so than the FFAR. Again, another tip to move around the map quickly is if you have got pistols or an SMG as your secondary, make sure you switch to those when you're running because the movement speed's a lot better. I still see a lot of people running around with their heaviest weapon, which you shouldn't really be doing. You should be switching to your lighter weapon so you get an increase in movement speed. The top priority here is getting a bit of ammo, getting enough cash to hopefully buy Jack back in and get him back in the game as well. Okay, so managed to get a bit of ammo and cash. I'm looking behind me because I know that potentially someone could be rotating in from TV station, so I'm always checking back there just to make sure that I don't get caught off guard. So managed to get a little bit more ammo, managed to get another Semtex as well, which in a minute becomes absolutely key, as you'll see. And just as I'm about to start rotating, I see a guy, lo and behold, rotate from TV station, which is what I was watching for anyway. He doesn't have ghost, he's on heartbeat. I'm not sure at this point whether he has actually seen me, but at this point I'm knowing that he has got to rotate into me anyway, so I decide to wait for him to cross into the open where I can get a quick shot and an easy down, because I don't want to start shooting him at the minute just in case he then spots me and I don't get a down and he then can plate up and maybe potentially kill me. So I decide to sit behind this wall, but he has actually spotted me, so he's already got the riot shield out. Couple of Semtexes out, managed to get one stuck, boom, down. So that fight could have gone wrong, but I knew he was going to have to come over that wall at some point. Just unfortunate I managed to get a stuck grenade on him, otherwise he could have switched to his gun and got a few shots on me, but yeah, pretty lucky fight that was. Okay, so now I've got a bit of distance to cover now to rotate into the zone. Vehicle coming up, I don't know whether they've spotted me. I'm thinking at this stage they have, so I'll lay down a bit of fire, then it puts them off what they were potentially doing. Broke armour, so they're long gone. They're not coming back, and it gives me an opportunity just to run straight into the zone without them coming back. So I've got enough cash now to buy Jack back, so that's my ultimate priority at the moment. Although this is the only buy that was close enough, and I hate this buy in the middle of airport. It is so open. There's usually people in fire station or around those buildings on the top that they usually just camp there, and as soon as that buy goes in for your teammate and the flare goes up, you usually get absolutely beamed. But again, I think maybe this was quite lucky that no one saw me and I managed to get the res off. So again, as soon as you made that buy, get into cover, because that'll flag up to enemies in the area that you've just bought in, and they'll know exactly where you are roughly. So just get the notification that there's a soldier incoming and beam him a little bit. As you can see, that M4 is still really good at medium range. I probably wouldn't have landed those shots with the FFAR, but the M4 is still really easy to control. It does really good damage. So just spotted a team crossing over. Thought I could maybe get it down there, but that's probably a bad move giving away my position there in hindsight. So I want to rotate in towards Jack now. We'll link back up and try and help him regain a little bit, get some weapons. I know there's a guy in police station that's just landed, so I'm always mindful of that. But my priority is to link back up with my teammate to help him and help both of us get back into the game. So I can hear footsteps coming down. This might have been the guy from the police station, I'm not sure. And look at that, the M4, it just barely moves. It's really good at mid-range still. So Jack's just called out that he's got a team with him. Unfortunately, I'm in this fight at the minute, so I know I need to take this guy out before I go over to Jack. And there he is in the garage. Easy kill, team wipe. So I know this side of the map now is clear. The zone's pretty close in now. There's no one in the open, so I decided to loot this body, pick up his MAC-10, and then the plan is to go over to Jack and help him before that team pushes him. Unfortunately, it was too late, so I decided to try and catch this team off guard, because I've got Ghost. Jack didn't have Ghost, unfortunately. So I'm trying to sneak up on them, maybe try and kill them. So I can hear them fighting now, that team that just killed Jack. So I'm thinking at this stage, do I try and third party it? And that means I know this side of the map is clear. But at the same time, I don't want to give my position away, because I don't know whether there's going to be another 4 people down there. So I decided to leave the fight, because at this stage I don't know where they are. And I think that it's more important to be getting zone and start thinking about how I'm potentially going to win this match rather than going for the kills. Because I know that if I push pretty close, then people may have MAC-10s, and then it's all over. Again, guy just got a quick res off at that buy station that I'd just been to. I didn't even think there was anyone behind me. So at the moment, I'm just trying to figure out where everyone is. I know there's definitely a team, obviously, over to my right, and I decide that this is probably the best push to make at the minute. And then I know this side of the map is then clear, and then I can rotate back into the zone, knowing that no one's going to come up behind me.
Shit, where's he been shot from?
It was so critical to get that down there, because if I didn't get that down, it doesn't put that team under pressure. So I changed the angle, see him res in, managed to get the team wipe, and I know this side is then clear. So at this stage, I'm thinking about the zone. I know this side is clear. There might be one more left over by that buy, but I didn't see him sort of milling around there. So I'm looking at the zone and thinking, well, if I go to the other side of the map, that's where the other remaining teams are. And again, because I've got the M4, I don't want to be challenging sort of FFARs in the mid-range or close to mid-range. So I'm thinking at this stage, I've got a gas mask. The best opportunity for me to potentially win this game and gain a really good position is to look at going around in the gas and over back towards police station. So I hit that position, run all the way around. Gas mask comes off. I don't want to cough at this stage because I don't know if someone's left in that garage. Managed to pick up another gas mask just in case I need it. But I know I'm pretty sound here, because the only way people can come at me at the moment is from the left. There's no one that's going to come from the right, so I'm just listening out for footsteps at this stage. and I get a really good zone rotation. So the zone's coming over to me, and I know that the only way people can come from is that left hand side. So I'm listening out for footsteps. So the guy who picked up that bounty on me has just died, and I know that this is a really good position because I don't even know where he came from. But again, being with the M4, managed to get the kill.
Oh, boom!
And there we are, we got the win. So that was a bit of a clutch victory, but it was all down to the positioning, and it was getting that gas mask and running through the gas to gain that power position at the end, knowing the rest of them were at the other side of the circle. So GG's. This was the M4 loadout I was using paired with the Renettis, which I think are actually pretty competitive at the minute if you want to get a ghost loadout, so it's worth giving them a go. But with the M4 taking that Corvus barrel rather than the M16 for the extra mobility, and also the stipple grip tape for the sprint to fire time, makes it a really competitive up close weapon. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please drop me a like or a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace.